Hello, this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, with another installment of Success Through Consistency. And if you don't know who I am and what I do, I help you to achieve your most important goals through the power and the principle of consistency. And before I get into the subject of today, it's a subject that I call the Hummingbird Syndrome. And I'm going to explain to you what that means in a moment. But before I get to the subject of today's video, if you happen to be watching me on YouTube, you know that I always leave gifts for my first-time visitors or visitors who repeat and haven't gotten the gifts yet. I have in the links below my best-selling book, which is Why Consistency is the Key to All Success and How to Be Consistent to Achieve Any Goal. You can get this on the links below. In addition, there's an audio of about 30 minutes that I did 4 or 5 years ago, absolutely excellent, that I think you'll enjoy, that has to do with consistency. About 30 minutes, it is mind-boggling. I was in the zone when I did that particular interview. And if you are not already a member of my Facebook group, go to Facebook and type in Success Through Consistency. Success Through Consistency. Looks like this. Okay, if you happen to be a visual person. Success Through Consistency. Okay, on with the subject of today. The subject of the day is what I call the Hummingbird Syndrome. Let me explain to you how I got this concept. A few years ago, I was counseling a lady who complained to me that she was very, very, very intent on being successful. And she made a statement to me, something like this. She said, "You know, Charles, I have been trying to be successful for the last 40 years, and I haven't achieved it yet. I set really high goals for myself, but even though I haven't achieved it yet, I'm going to continue." Now, she didn't explain to me what all she was doing during these 40 years of trying to be successful, but I immediately extrapolated what she really meant when she said, "I have been trying for 40 years to be successful." The thing is that the operational word is trying. She said, "I have been trying to be successful for 40 years, which is not the same thing as I have been committed to one particular thing for the last 40 years and have stuck with that no matter what." There's nobody who can convince me that they have been committed to one specific goal steadfastly, persistently, overcoming obstacles, coming across a problem, then solving it, learning as they go, for 40 years and not being a master and successful at that. No. There's a difference between trying and being committed to something. When she said that she was trying to be successful, trying is usually a word that people use when they need to have an escape or excuse for not achieving something. For example, you have a friend who says, you tell a friend, "Hey, look, I need you to pick me up at 5 o'clock. And they say, "Okay, well, I'll try to be there." What does that sound? What does that say? What does that sound like to you? "I'll try to be there." It sounds like the person is including a weasel clause, as they say, that there is a chance that I'm not going to arrive there when they say that I'm going to try. What if a person said, if you told your fiancé, your girlfriend, or your wife, "I'm going to try to love you." Whoa, What are you talking about? Versus, I love you. See, trying and committing are two different concepts. So when a person says, I'm going to try this business, they're really saying, I'm going to do it until I come across the first obstacle before I'm ready to quit. And because I said I'm going to try it, I have an escape because I never really said I was going to commit to it. So when a person says I'm going to try something, they have an escape clause, which easily is, well, I never said I was committed, I only said I was going to try it. So trying is an excuse for quitting. Let me repeat that. Trying something is an excuse for quitting later on. This is what I call the Hummingbird Syndrome. And a lot of people are like this when they so-called commit. I don't even want to say commit, when they so-called try something. If you ever notice a hummingbird in a garden, they go to a flower, taste the nectar, then they go to another flower, taste that a little bit, and then they fly and they go to another flower. Taste that a bit, and they fly and go to another flower. Most people are like this when they select a particular path to go on. They're like the hummingbird. They select a business, one of these guaranteed turnkey solution that just follow the step-by-step of this particular program and you'll be a success. You don't have to worry about making any mistakes. I have made all the mistakes for you. Just follow my system. This is the type of person who becomes the hummingbird. They try a particular business. They try a particular system. The first sign of obstacles, the first sign of setbacks or challenges, they throw their hands up in defeat and figure, nah, this is not good. This is not for me, and they go and try something else. They try something else, a problem arises, and a challenge will come across. Oh, no, let me try something else. So it is quite possible for a person to move from, let's say if it's a business that they're trying to start, from one business opportunity to another, to another, to another, and never achieve anything. And quite literally, they can do it for 40 years because they've not committed to any one thing. The thing is that obstacles will come across. There is no guaranteed turnkey solution that you will be able to execute without you having problems to solve. Life just doesn't work that way. Life will test you. Life will test your persistence. Life will test your tenacity. Life will test if you really, really want this. And if you don't want it enough, you give it up and try something else. And that particular something else will have its problem or its challenge. And then you give that up and you go something else. So you'd be bouncing from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. You see, success is not for cowards. Consistency is not for cowards. And persistence is something that only the faithful and the courageous and the tenacious have. This is only the 5%. It's always been that way, and it always will be that way. It's always the 5% of the people, the 5 or 10% of the people who are tenacious, who are steadfast, who are committed, who are courageous, who are not afraid of problems, who are not afraid to solve them because they know the value of the why that they're doing a certain thing. People who are committed stick to their vision no matter what because they know that this is what they're supposed to be doing. You will have to go through suffering before you achieve your goal. You will have to go through a trial of fire. You will have to go through the pain, the disappointment. You see many plans crushed right before your eyes and just wonder, how could this have happened after I spent so much time and money in setting this up? Nevertheless, you still will have to accept it and try again. Try a different approach until whatever it is that you're working on works. And it's usually after you've had so many setbacks and challenges and difficulties, at the point that you're usually ready to quit is usually the point when things are about to change. So things usually are about to change just before everything becomes the most complicated. So the idea is that you pick yourself up and you try again one more time, holding steadfast on your goal until you achieve it, not bouncing from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, just because you come across a particular problem and you don't want to deal with it, so now you want to run to something else. So don't become the hummingbird. Be steadfast. Be like a postage stamp. Stick to that envelope until it arrives to the destination. Okay, that's my little example I want to give you today of my concept of the hummingbird syndrome. So just be careful that you don't become one of those people who are just trying versus being committed. So if you like this particular installment, give me a thumbs up, hit the like and subscribe button, and please, I beseech you, leave me comments below. Don't just sit there and be quiet, not say anything. Give me feedback. Ask me a question. Again, if you ask me a good enough question, I will create a video just to answer your question. Okay, this is yours truly again, Charles Prosper. Success through consistency, and we will see you again the next time.